Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am back with another planner DIY, setting up my covers. So I think this will be quick and easy, but I did want to go ahead and replace my little temporary setup here of these post-it notes that have just kind of been marking my covers with a more permanent kind of solution. And so just to get started, I did print this out, but I also have my tools here. So I've got two tapes. Like this is like masking tape, and then of course my double-sided adhesive, and then I have a pair of scissors and my ruler. So just to get started, one of the first things, I'm not using the ruler in this video, but I did use it prior to the video in order to just kind of take some measurements. So in order to make sure that I had my cover labels be done correctly, I did measure to make sure that I'm covering up this section, and I did decide, I was kind of going back and forth on how I wanted to do this. I was initially considering just doing like a full cover, like just covering the entire thing, which I may or may not do later on in the year, but for right now I decided I just wanted to cover like this quote here that says you're gonna make it. I am using a set of covers, like actually 5 of the same set of covers, and so because I'm using the same covers, I wanted to like kind of differentiate between the 5 by creating these labels. And so I used the ruler to measure it, and so it's like basically 4 inches across this way, and then this way, if I do it exactly correctly, it's 4 inches as well. So I decided to hop onto Word, well actually on Google, and find like a rainbow color, just because the theme of the covers is rainbow. I decided to find, like, I just typed in like rainbow borders square, and I was able to find this border, and I sized it in Word to basically be 4 inches by 4 inches, and then I created the label. I just typed in like all the different labels for my 5 covers, and that's pretty much it. And so you can see here that you can see just slightly, actually it's going to be smaller than 4, which is not good because I might not be, like it might like, well, let me see. This may not work. Okay, I might be able to work it. Like some of the gold might be peeking out, and that's what I'm concerned about. But I think what I'm gonna do is just cut it a little bit longer, like leave a little bit of white space around it. So yeah, we'll just have to do that. I was doing the border just to be able to like kind of make it stand out. So yeah, that's what the ruler is for. And so these sticky notes will be replaced now. I did print out like all 5 of them, so these are my 5 cover labels. It's going to be a section that's home, Sophia, personal, work, and Rose. And actually, I'm starting with Rose, but the order, like, it's a Transformer planner, so I kind of like, I just landed on this one first, basically. So I'm gonna cut it out. I'm going to do my best to keep this fairly neat. I'm going to, like you can see here, leave just a little bit of a white border. I was planning initially to cut, you know, straight into the color, but because I printed it out apparently a little bit smaller than I needed to, I'm going to have to cheat a little bit and leave a little bit of white border, which in my mind, I think is going to be totally fine. To me, it feels like a sticker like that, so I don't hate it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to cut this out. And I'm only going to do the one, and then just speed up the rest, I think. Just because, you know, like, I mean, I don't know how fun it is to watch me put things onto a cover. But I'm going to put it like this. And I'm getting the double-sided adhesive just to be able to kind of like put it down before I do the masking tape. But I printed this out just basically on copy paper. It's just like a thin sheet of copy paper. And I'm going to go ahead and just try to keep it as centered as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mentioned this in my last DIY video, but like, I'm here for making it done, you know, like DIY projects I think are meant to be a little bit imperfect. It's kind of the fun of it, or at least I think it's part of the fun of it. So I just taped it down so that way it wouldn't move around. And then what I'm going to do is, I of course could have printed that on sticker paper and have like a full-size sheet of sticker paper, but I did not, just because I thought like it would get scuffed up a little bit if I just printed it out and left it like that by itself. And so what I'm going to do is put masking tape on top of it. Now, of course, there are a couple of, I guess, like alternatives if you don't have masking tape. You can, for example, use contact paper. If you have contact paper, that would be a good solution. Or if you have like clear sticker paper, you can certainly use clear sticker paper right on top. But what I'm going to do is just kind of like use this masking tape and just kind of like, you know, create my own like DIY lamination essentially, right? And I tried to lay that down so that way I could get rid of some of the bubbles here. I laid it in the middle and then kind of like rubbed out the bubbles like that. And with how big it is, I need to basically cut 3 strips. So I'll put the strip first in the middle, and then you can see I made it, you know, as long as I needed to. Like, I mean, it could be, of course, longer, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm trying to keep my fingers on like the edges as much as possible, so that way there's like no like fingertip markings in the cover itself. And then this one, I'm just gonna, I was thinking about like maybe not overlapping it, but I think I'm just gonna overlap it. I think it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna overlap it. And this time I am rubbing it from the bottom. And so I'm just kind of like keeping this top edge lifted up so that way I can rub it down and try to prevent like air bubbles essentially. Right, and so that's that. It's again not perfect. I see air bubbles right here where I was less worried about it. I wanted to make sure at least the printing here was correct. But there are definitely air bubbles in this side, so I'm just rubbing it out with my fingernails. Or like a nail here, right? And that's totally fine. Good enough. Like again, like not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect since it's DIY. And then last little piece here. I'll just, again, just overlap it just a little bit. This time I'll do it from the top. I guess it doesn't really matter in my mind. As long as I'm getting rid of the air bubbles on the cover. Or like on this label that I've made, right? And so that's my little DIY. And again, if you have like clear sticker paper or like contact paper or anything like that, you can certainly do that. If you want to run it through the laminator, you can do that as well. But this is my kind of like cheap and easy version of doing it. And I think most people have these products in their stash, you know? So, all right, so that is set up, and that now I'm just basically gonna cut out the other 4 and replace these labels, but I'll speed through this. I'm excited. Look how beautiful it is. I'll do a final flip through of all of them when I'm done though. Yay! I am so excited. I think it looks so good. Look at this. Okay, so I do have a transformer planner, and so this is set up now to where I can basically flip to whatever section I need And let me get rid of this trash. But I can flip to whatever section I need, and I don't have to worry about like pulling up the sticky notes. I can like clean up these covers because they are super messy, but that's totally okay. I mean, this is my functional planner. I want it to serve its purpose as my planner. It doesn't always have to be pretty. It could be mom life. All right, so Sophia's section, Rose's section, home section, work, and then personal. And you can see I use the same set of covers, but now they're labeled so I can see what I'm doing, and it just transform and be good. And I did mention I did my January flip through recently, but I still haven't taken those pages out, so I have to do it now that my brand new, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I don't know, I thought I would like it, but I love it. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm just gonna like just feel on it and just love on it. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it was super easy, quick and easy to do. Definitely something with stuff that I had on hand, so I really enjoy that, just being able to DIY something with materials that I had on hand. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.